We talked to the show about tough veteran stories and wanting to see a bit of hope. Well, tonight I want to highlight a first-of-its-kind Wellbeing Centre set up in Melbourne to help veterans and their families, and it's real support when they need it. It's named after a heroic Australian World War II nurse, the Bullwinkel Centre it's called, and it'll connect ex-servicemen and women with life-saving resources, part of the very important work that Melbourne Legacy and the RSL in Victoria do for the veterans community.
Joel Sardi enlisted in the Australian Army a decade ago. He was deployed to Afghanistan in 2013 as a rifleman in the 7 RAR. But it wasn't until he returned home that he suffered a life-changing injury.
I had an accident, fell down some stairs and broke my neck and became a quadriplegic. I spent 12 months in hospital going through rehab, and then through that time I was able to meet the ASOs like RSL, and then my journey sort of come along from there.
He and his wife Alyssa began their journey with Legacy last year, following the birth of their first child, Esme. They say the Vivian Bullwinkel Wellbeing Centre, which opened in partnership with Melbourne Legacy and RSL Victoria, will be a game changer for families.
It's a place for other veterans and their families to come, and it's a place where I know that Alyssa and Esme, my daughter, can come and they'll be completely looked after. And I know that I can come here as well at any time and get help. It's just something as simple as knowing there's really good bathroom facilities. Now, for someone like myself who needs specific facilities for a toilet, I know that they're always here, and it's a pretty good spot too, right on Swanston Street.
The centre was built inside the Melbourne Legacy headquarters, which has stood in the city's CBD since World War II. It provides families with a play area for children, a kitchenette and computer facilities, connecting veterans and their loved ones with advocates, caseworkers and counsellors who assist with pensions, housing, education and mental health support.
This gives them a one-stop shop. They can essentially deal with many of their, or the majority of their problems or issues they need to address in the one place, rather than coming to one place and be referred to somewhere else, which might refer them to somewhere else.
And the building's namesake holds a special significance.
Vivian was an Australian Army nurse during the Second World War, and along with, I think, 20-something colleagues of hers, she was being evacuated from Singapore when their ship was sunk. They made it to shore and the Japanese gunned them all down, but she feigned death, and so they left her alone, and she recovered from her injury and was later captured on Banker Island and spent the rest of the war in captivity.
The Victorian Veterans Minister helped local artist George Petro unveil his portrait of Vivian at the centre's official opening.
It was a great honour to paint Vivian Bullwinkel, who I sort of knew a little bit about but didn't know her true story, so it gave me the opportunity to read about her, research her, and what an amazing lady she must have been, and I wish I'd met her. Incredible story.
The centre didn't receive any government funding. Instead, the Percy Baxter Charitable Trust and Melbourne Legacy stepped in to help. The centre will be fully operational in the coming weeks and open to veterans during normal business hours. For after-hours support, caseworkers can be reached over the phone. Julia Bradley, Sky News, Melbourne.
There you go, no government funding. Well done, Legacy. Well done, RSL, and congratulations on that name, the heroine, Lieutenant Colonel Vivian Bullwinkel. If you or someone you know in the defence community needs support, please reach out to one of the organisations on your screen, including Open Arms, the Defence Family Helpline, or of course, Lifeline.